God had rescued his people from their slavery to Pharaoh in Egypt. But he wanted to do something even bigger and better. God loved his people, so he wanted to set up his home with them. But Pharaoh had other plans. He wanted the Israelites back. So he gathered his army, and with horses and chariots he chased after Moses and the people all the way to the edge of the sea. The Israelites were terrified, but Moses trusted God. He stretched out his hand, and God made a strong wind blow, so that the waters of the sea divided into two. There was a wall of water on the left and a wall of water on the right, and God's people walked right through the middle of the sea. The Egyptian army followed, but God threw them into confusion. And when Moses stretched out his hand, the towering waters swept back into place. Not one of the Egyptian army survived. Moses praised God, for God had saved the people of Israel yet again. Maybe now God would set up his home with his people. But were his people ready? They were grumbling. They were hungry. They were thirsty. After everything God had done, they even said they wished they were back in Egypt. But God was patient. He rained down food. He made water miraculously appear. And he kept leading them onwards, by a pillar of cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night, all the way to the desert of Sinai. And there they trembled, for there was thunder and lightning. The mountain was covered in cloud and smoke. A trumpet sounded louder and louder. The whole mountain shook. God had come down to the mountain to meet them. They, he said, were his special people. But how could a God so holy make his home with such messy people? Well, God called Moses up the mountain and he spoke to him. He gave him 10 commandments, instructions for how people should love God and how they should love one another. But God didn't just want to teach them, he wanted to live with them. So he gave Moses special instructions. He was to build a holy place, a tabernacle, where God would come to make his home. But at the bottom of the mountain, the people were quick to forget the God who had saved them. They just heard the commandments. They just agreed to keep them. God was coming to live with them. And yet they made a calf out of gold, and they worshipped that instead. Moses was angry. God was angry. He sent a punishment on the people, and he told them he would not go with them. But Moses prayed. He pled with God to forgive the people and remember his promises to them. God heard Moses' prayer. He would still come and make his home with Israel. And so they got to work, building God's holy place, the tabernacle, with finest wood, special metals, linen, leather, jewels and gold, every detail just as God had said. And then, as he had promised, God came down. A cloud covered the tent, and the glory of the Lord filled the tabernacle. God had set up his home with his people. And though for now they couldn't see him face to face, because God was far too holy, a day would come when God would come to make his home with his people again. But this time, in flesh and blood, with face and hands, so that all people could see and feel and know that God is always with us.
Hey there, our goal is to engage new generations with Jesus by making the whole Bible in Lego stop motion. We're a charity and all our content is free for you to watch, so if you've been blessed by this video, we'd love your help blessing others. You can donate towards the project at gochatterstudios.org. Thank you so much for your support.